To be able to look at the really interesting statistics from your database, you need to understand the group by having clause. Here is a clear explanation with examples. Okay, we're going to open up our database again and we're going to look at this group by clause. So we have our table with friends, we can look at our data again, we have the scores and week 1 and week 2, and we can look at this data using the select all from friends SQL statement. Here we will see our data when we run the query, and we can scroll down to see all the records. Okay, so we looked at aggregate functions before, such as min and max and average and sum and count. So we're going to look at these again using the group by. So here's average score, and this gives us the average of all of the scores. What happens if we want to see the average score of each player? So here we've got select name and surname. Now that's only give us one record, so that's not really what we want. So here we can look at the scores. We're going to order them by the surname so we can look at them. You can see the scores ordered by the surname, and that gives you an idea of what data we want. So now we want to see the average score of each player. So we have average score, which by itself doesn't do any good. What we need is this group by clause. So we put in group by, we put it after the from, so from friends, in group by before the order by. So we've got group by name and surname, as you can see. So here we've got the 4 players and their 4 averages. So we've got the select, the from, the group by and the order by. You may want to use an alias. So we want to order them by the average score. So we're going to use the alias EVE score for average score, and then we, instead of ordering by the surname, we can order them by the average score descending, so we can have the highest at the top. So that's using the alias in the order by part of the clause. Don't really need the scores, so we take that out. So that's clearer. So we can see this average score we've done, and we've grouped it by the player. If you want to reduce the amount of rows, select a certain amount of rows by some condition, like the where clause, we can, with the group by, we have having. So we have group by and then having. In this example we have having average score greater than 50. So the average scores that are less than 50 are not going to be selected. So we have to select from, group by and having. So that's the group by clause. We can use it with other aggregate functions such as minimum and maximum. So here we look at the lowest score and the maximum score of each player. So you can see there each player with the maximum score and minimum score. We can order them perhaps to make them a bit easier to see. So we can use another alias, max score. So the highest score we're going to call it max score, and then we're going to order it by the max score descending, so the highest score will be at the top going downwards. We have 4 records here. If you want to limit the amount of rows returned, you can use limit again. So we looked at limit before, so here we limit to 3 rows. Okay, the final aggregate we're going to use is sum. So here we've selected all the names. You can see there's a list of names, and now we're going to look at the sum, the total score. So we've got the players' scores each week. We want to know what's their total score. So we're going to sum the score as total score. So we've got that from friends, and then we're going to use our group by statement again, called a group by clause, and here we've got the total scores. Does that seem a bit strange? Let's try surname. Well, surname gives us different results. So why is that? Well, let's have a look at when we use both name and surname. When we run the query, that's better. We've got all 4 players and all 4 total scores. What happened before is, because we've got 2 Smiths, we summed up both surnames, and because we've got 2 Johns, we summed up both Johns when we just used name. So be very careful when you're using this group by if you're not using something called an identifier. So we carry on with our group by clause. We can use having, so this example, having total score greater than 100, and we're ordering the total score highest first. So in this example, we need to use both name and surname to make sure we select all of the players and then group them. We're starting to see potential problems. We really need to look at our database design. The next videos will look at that in the create table. So make sure you don't miss them, and one way you can't miss them is if you subscribe. Okay, thank you. Goodbye now.